Hi, it's Susan. I am back with number 3 of my 100 Things challenge that was started by Dances with Pitbulls. And today I decided that what I was going to try and use this challenge for was to both finish up a lot of my outstanding projects that have been half done or just barely started or just taking up a lot of space on the shelves and I would really like to finish so I could start something new. And then the other thing I'm going to do is use it to help me make a lot of ephemera so I can have things on hand. Because, even when you're making a journal, you make things to go with the journal, but then you want to have some extra things that'll pop in or, whatever, just to have them on hand. So what I went to was my collection of sheets because I have been coffee dyeing and tea dyeing fabric like crazy so that I would have everything all done and I could just reach for the fabric and pull it off the shelf and not have to think about whether it would take a color or not. And what I had left was a bunch of sheets that just did not want to take any color. So I had to figure out something else to do with them. A bunch of them I tore into narrow strips so I can use them for ties on journals, but I still had a lot of sheets left over. So I went after them with my stamps. And I really like these. I can use some of these like this as a belly band. I can cut these apart and stitch them onto something else. I just basically just took all my sheet stuff and let's see, be nice if you could read it right side up. And just went crazy stamping things. Let's move it out of the way. So they'll be ready, and I'll probably get in here and cut them apart and maybe start stitching them onto some things. They don't have to be anything yet. It's just a start. I did some script. That might be good if I'm doing clusters. Didn't like the way this one turned out, but who knows? By the time it's buried with something else on top of it, 2 or 3 things on top of it, you're only going to see a little bit of it anyways. Really like the bees. They came out nice. And again, I can use them like this. I can cut them apart and attach them to something else. The options are unlimited, or else I guess just limited by your imagination. I have a lot of text stamps. I really like that so that I don't have to try and write something because I'm not crazy about my words. And yeah, I can print things out, but like I said, sometimes it's just really nice to have things ready and waiting, or at least partially started. I know this becomes yet another project that's not done, but I do think this will get finished. I think I'm just going to start cutting these apart and maybe stitching them onto a larger piece of fabric. So, yeah, so I just did the same stamp a few times if I liked it. And the butterflies, this could also be cut again and become some ties, but I like the butterflies. This was one of my absolute favorites. I had one of those really large floral stamps, and I just love this. It reminds me of a dress I had for my daughter when she was born. I love that. And then I took my honeycomb stamp, and that came out really nice too. So this will be really nice in a bee journal. And I did add some bees, but I'm not crazy about that. But I do like the honeycomb. That came out good. And then to give you an idea what you can do with it, I took the Listen With Your Heart and stitched that to a piece of paper, and then I just hand sewed a little heart on there. And then this one, Sweet Dreams Grow in My Garden, was stamped on the old piece of sheet and sewn to a piece of upholstery fabric that was left when I made those little traveler's notebooks. And then I just sewed a little flower charm on there. And now this is ready to be glued into a journal and can be a pocket. So that's number 3 on my 100 Things challenge, is stamping on fabric scraps so that I can use them for something else. This is Susan. Thanks so much for watching, for stopping by, for subscribing, for liking, and for telling people about my channel. I really appreciate your support. See you next time.